Hello and welcome back to the Squared Circle with myself, Mr. David Alorka.
And myself, Jo Aujla.
That's right, and today we have got some breaking news. Conor Benn has been cleared of all wrongdoing, according to the statement that he's released today on Twitter.
Freedom, 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 yeah. Man's free, according to himself. Damn. What do you think about that?
Hey, listen, I remember we've been speaking about this, and we've been speaking about the fact that Conor Benn's been in the ring with Chris Eubank Jr., and it's like all of that stuff is pointless if we don't find out what's going on. And it seems like right now we found out that he's getting ready to fight again.
I think with Conor Benn, there's always going to be a negative reaction no matter what he does. And, for the last 2 years, he's been criticised, belittled, taken the mick out of. Now it's probably his time to say, I told you lot so. But now people are still saying, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
He ain't going to win. Like, I don't think he's not really going to win the hearts of the people, because I saw a TalkSport video of Gareth A. Davis and I've seen the comments and still they're not buying it.
For people that haven't seen what Gareth A. Davis said about it, what's Gareth said about it?
He just said that this the same thing that we know, that Conor Benn's released a statement saying that his ban's been lifted. But I was just reading the comments, and the comment section's just saying they basically believe that he had a secret handshake for the 2-year ban, and like they're not buying it, and they think there's a massive cover-up story that we don't know about, which I'm not too sure about, to be honest, David. I just feel like Conor's not going to win in this situation in terms of winning the hearts of the fans of the people.
It's mad because I put it in my WhatsApp group, right? I've got several WhatsApp groups. I put it into one of my main WhatsApp groups, and that's exactly what one of my boys ended up saying. He was like, yeah, more like he served the silent 2-year ban. And I said, no, you have to read the words of what man says. Man said cleared of any wrongdoing. He didn't say clear to fight or clear to box or use the language that was used last time. He's addressing the wrongdoing and saying that the National Anti-Doping Committee have cleared him of any wrongdoing, which, like you said, I don't know, some people don't read. And like that's the reality.
Yeah.
Some people don't read because obviously, like, legally there are terms that are used. Like last time there was, when Eddie Hearn was going back and forth with Simon Jordan about this. Yeah. Simon Jordan was like, cleared how? Like, he was like, Simon Jordan kept saying cleared by jurisdiction, right? And then Eddie Hearn kept saying cleared to box. But what Conor Benn has said this time is that he is cleared of any wrongdoing.
If that's the case, that's the case. But it looks like, I think it's Ukad had something to say. Ukad or VAR, I get confused with all these. Ukad, right? So Ukad have said that they have something to say about this. So basically, in terms of, how you're talking about the wording, they basically said they're looking to appeal without really saying they're going to appeal. I'm just like, bruv, I know people have said, look, drugs in the sport, it's a no-go. And 100% it's a no-go. But like, look at the likes of like Ryan Garcia. He's back in April and he served such a lesser term than Conor has. Like, let's just leave it now, man. It's getting tiring, bro. Like, you could have still coming back in again and not allowing this, not letting it slide.
For me, like, I'm like, come on now. It's over 2 years, right? And the reality of the fact is, before it broke the news, Ukad knew about it. And this is the thing that keeps on like throwing me off, because I'm like, before the news broke during fight week, Ukad had known about it for like 6 weeks. Yeah. Like, that man can't be acting as if they're the innocent.
No.
Yeah, they knew about it. They didn't ban him then. They allowed the thing to continue to roll on as it did. And now they want to be moving like, do you know what I'm saying? And I hope, obviously, I've read the statement that they put out. Yeah. The statement they put out basically said that Conor Benn has kind of jumped the gun on the UK, not the UK Anti-Doping Committee, but on the National Anti-Doping Committee, and has put out a statement. And that effectively the suspension that he was on has now been lifted, basically. That's basically what they basically said, which means he is actually clear to fight. And he said that the basis of it happening is because the National Anti-Doping Committee didn't believe there was enough evidence to prove that he had broken any UCAD violations.
Yeah. I, in all honesty, I just don't know. I feel like I just don't know about the whole situation enough to be like, he did it or he didn't do it. I know I've been seeing a lot of lot of mick taking or towards Conor. But my question is to you, David, why is it taking so long for an answer, like for a conclusion? Why has it been 2 years? Why has it been longer than 2 years? Like, I don't get it. Like you see other scenarios that is basically like nipped in the bud ASAP and a conclusion's come. Why has it been with Conor Benn a different story?
It's taken so long because Conor Benn has refused to accept that he has doped. And when I say that, what I mean is he, in his mind, or according to him, his belief is that he hasn't. And so he's not going to just take the rap for something that he hasn't done. He's not going to just do he's a principled man. Conor Benn is he's a principled man. So as frustrating as it has been for him, as tiring as it's been for him, as worrying as it's been for him, as damaging as it's been to his career and his reputation, because he's fought it so long and fought it so hard, it's gone on and it's had a long-lasting stain in his career on that basis. However, he's a principled man. And he refuses to just get smacked on the back and say, all right, cool, I'll take my punishment and roll on. That's the reason why it's taken so long. Because he's like, look, if I've done it, I've done it. But I ain't done it. And
so why should I take the blame for it?
And so some people are just like, oh, bro, I've just shot, man, you ate the eggs or whatever. WBC said, whatever. Even when the WBC said eggs, he didn't even want to hear it. Initially, he didn't accept it because he was just like, but I didn't do nothing. And, you know, people will bring up clips and say, oh, yeah, this was Conor Benn before the eggs. This was Conor Benn before thinking. They show clips of him being small. But Conor Benn was growing into his man body. He was young when they're looking at all of those older fights, those younger fights, sorry. And so it's like, that's not evidence that, end of the day, somebody has juiced up or somebody has ingested some degree of steroids. But Conor is a principled man, and he even put it in his statement. He said, look, I don't want to hold any ill will or any kind of ill thing to Ukad or to anybody. You know, a person that uses God in his statements. He said, I'm a man of God. Like, that shows that what he's basically saying is I'm a principled person. Yeah. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I'm not going to lie and say I've taken something just to get a shorter rap. I'm not going to do that. Yeah. And that is the reason as to why it's taking so long. And that is against all of the evidence that everybody else, not all the evidence, all of the advice that everybody else has been telling him. Oh, just hold it. Don't say nothing. Just take a ban. Just take it. Conor hasn't done that. And you know what? For me, I respect him.
It's admirable, to be honest, because we look at like Ryan Garcia's a perfect example. He till this day he's saying he never took anything, but he took the ban just to get back into ring ASAP. At the end of the day, you have to respect Conor. He has sacrificed 2 years of his own career, although he fought once or twice, but he fought in America on cards that he should be headlining. You know what I mean? So you have to respect that. And at the end of the day, I think you're right about him being a man of principle. It takes a man with a lot of courage and bravery to continue to get all of this slander and hate thrown towards at him. But he took it on the chin and he has his chest held up and out. I think that although that is the case, he hasn't helped himself, and I think all parties in this haven't helped themselves. You know, Conor Benn going on the Piers Morgan show, having to go at British Boxing Board of Control, saying that they have something against their dad, and then they're continuing it down the family tree. You know, Eddie not pulling out the fight when he should have pulled out the fight. The doping agent, I don't even know the names, but you know what I mean, whoever's in charge of
Ukad and all the
all of them, like that, when they knew about it, they should have said something. They should have like took him out the Eubank fight and saw it out there and then, rather than waiting for 6 weeks and going into fight week. And I think Eddie said he lost £1 million because of that. Like, everyone has played a poor part in this. So although we all look at Conor Benn and say that he's made a lot of mistakes and he's done a lot of things that he should have done and his teams have been advising him, I think everyone around him should take some accountability, including the people who were against him in this as well.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you. I think when we look at these situations in life, we have to understand that obviously there's a correct course of action, but many times the correct course of action isn't known until hindsight. Everybody believes what they're doing is right at the time that they're doing what they're doing, for whatever reason they are doing it. As for Conor going on Piers Morgan and you know, him feeling like at the end of the day this must be something to do with his dad or something, because you have to look at it and think to yourself, if you have not done, you got to look at it as 90% of the, or even 95% of doping in sports, they're doing it. They know they're doing it. Do you understand what I'm saying? They know they're cheating. They know at the end of the day they're using masking agents. They know that. If you just think for a second, if you are that 0.5% or that 5%, right? And it happens to you. How are you, like, you're not going to be in the right frame of mind. You are going to scramble. You are going to be thinking, what the heck is going on around here? You are going to question what is happening. You're going to have, like, somebody spiraling in a way in which people would say Conor did is a natural course of action for somebody who feels like, but I don't understand why this is happening to me because I haven't done nothing. Now, the only reason why people don't understand that is because people have already been the judge, jury, and executioner and said that he's done it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's like, if you look at the course of action that he's taken, he has done everything wrong, so to speak, in terms of the way in which he's gone about it. But that's because to him and his own conviction, he is not guilty of what people are accusing him of.
Why do you think Conor has been... Look, we've seen all of these other fighters. We've seen the likes of Ryan Garcia, the likes of Dillian Whyte, you know, the likes of Tyson Fury. They've also been accused with similar situations that Conor's been. Why is Conor Benn probably the most highly looked at?
You're basically saying you're basically saying, why has Simon Jordan been talking it for the last 2 years, but Simon Jordan hasn't mentioned Dillian Whyte more than once or twice. To be honest with you, it's because of the veracity at which he has pushed back. That's the reason as to why. Like, he has stood for his innocence from the beginning, even louder than the accusations. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's the reason as to why. So, like I always say, I say there's a phrase I use, and I say, the only reason why you have an argument is because somebody says something and somebody else disagrees. That's the only reason. That's the initial point of an argument. Someone says this, I say no, and then now we're clashing, and that's literally what it's been. They've said he's thingy, and he's like, no, I haven't, and so they're pushing back against each other, and that's the reason why. If you say I haven't, if you say I have, and I say I haven't. Right? You just push me into the corner and I go away silently and sit down there. I can say I haven't in my whispers, but I'll hold whatever punishment that you're pushing in my direction, and that's fine. He hasn't. Yeah. He has refused to hold it. He's refused to cower away in silence. He has refused to run away from the media. He's refused to stay away from boxing events. He's no. He's like, no, I am innocent. Exactly. So guess what? I'm showing up. What? Boxing event, I'm showing up. Standard. I don't care. And for me, I can't lie to you, I respect that in him because it is unconventional. It is the wrong thing to do in most people's minds. But for me, there is a natural fight mentality that he has when it comes to, I have been wronged here and I don't know how. I don't know where, I don't know what's happened, but I know that I haven't done what I'm being accused of.
It's fight or flight mode with him, isn't it? That's basically what he's shown. He's shown he's a real fighter in and out the ring. And he stands up for what he believes in. And I respect it. I do admire Conor Benn in that aspect. But do you think now, today, that announcement he's made, that statement he's made, do you think that today is the end of it
It's not the end of it because we're going to hear from Simon Jordan. It's not the end of it. Simon's going to call up the head of the British Boxing Border Control.
Soon,
like there is going to be more from it. I just hope that UKAD and the boxing board just like, if you disagree, I understand, but understand that this guy has also given up 2 years of his life. Allow him
need
now.
to think about that.
Something like just allow it. That's my viewpoint. My viewpoint is, look, if he was gonna get a ban, for doing what you guys are saying he's gonna do, the amount of time that he's been out of a British ring, like, should constitute for it. So just allow it. Like at this stage, because I don't understand. It doesn't make sense because I'm sure if Ryan Garcia wants to fight in England, the board are gonna sanction him to fight because they'll be like he handled his ban that way he was. So it's like, at this stage that we are at now, I think it's time to allow it. Let people say let sleeping dogs lie. Just let the dog go to sleep, and then when the dog goes to sleep, let it lie, please. like that's my viewpoint of it. Obviously, boxing fans are going to have different views, just like people got different political views, just like people have got different views on so many different things in life, and that's fine. That continues the discourse. That continues the thing. There's people that are watching this right now that are going to be like, nah, he did it, so on and so forth. That's fine. Everybody can have their own view. For me, it's been 2 years out of the ring. The National Anti-Doping Committee have said that he's cleared of any wrongdoing. I haven't heard their statement yet because they haven't put out their statement. But UKAD have come out and said that it's because they find there's a lack of evidence that he has contravened any rules. And on that basis, brother, let's let the guy go so he can fight. And he's already put out a list of he listed out a few people. He said at the end of the day, he said he wants to fight. What's his name? What did he call?
Devin Haney.
Yep, he called him Devin Diddy Haney. That's what he called him. Devin Diddy Haney.
Was it Gavin Palumpa?
Yep.
What's the other one? Satsuma had something like that. Something like that.
Which is
Chris Eubank Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, let's just see Conor Benn get back in the ring now, man. I think it's over and done with, man. I do feel like today's a bit of a deja vu day because, I think a year ago where he did say he was cleared and Eddie said he was cleared, then Simon Jordan came back saying he's not cleared, and I felt like the arguments that happened all over again. I hope today is not the spark of reignition of another argument, and just allow it, man, because people who unknowingly took substances get a 2-year ban anyway. So now it's been 2 years for Conor. Just let it be. But let's talk about finally what we see next for Conor Benn. Do we see him go straight into a Eubank fight? Or do we see him get a world title shot or build himself back up for a world title shot? Where do you see Conor Benn going now?
There's no instant world title fight right now for Conor Benn. He can't jump straight into a world title fight. He's been out of the ring. No, bro, he's been out of the ring for too long. But
if someone like Gervonta Davis, which at the time, like a year ago, he wanted him, he could fight Gervonta Davis.
He's not going to fight Gervonta Davis next. He's going to have a nice. He deserves a gimme. You know what I'm saying? He deserves a nice comeback fight, and then a main event.
So you think he's going to have a comeback fight and warm up? Because he's talked about getting straight into the world champions as soon as he come back. He you know how Conor's like. He's very aggressive, tense. He's like, comeback fight. I don't need a comeback fight. I'll fight him now. Like, he's always on it. He's proper aggressive in and out the ring. So if he has that mentality, like, I don't see why he couldn't fight for a world title. I know that he probably doesn't deserve it, but if Eddie had a conversation with the welterweights in the division, that you could see, Boots.
For me, I don't see it as whether or not he deserves it. I don't think
you just can't see it,
and I don't think it's whether or not he wants it.
Yeah,
I think it's the people around him that are supposed to look after his career and the journey and the pathway of it are going to advise him in this direction. I think the only way we can see him go straight into the Chris Eubank fight is if Chris Eubank's like, that's the next one, or it's not happening. And if that's the case, he's going to end up fighting Chris Eubank next. So for me, the way I look at it, it's either Chris Eubank Jr. or it's a warm-up fight and then the Chris Eubank Jr. fight.
I agree. We're on the same page. Yeah, I think Chris Eubank Jr. is next, in my opinion, though.
Hey, listen, guys, let us know what you think in the comments below. Let us know what you think about Conor Benn being back in business, being back in the game again. It's breaking news today. We'll see what the rest of the boxing world has to say, but let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button as well, and stay tuned because we're bringing you a lot more breaking news as it happens right here on The Squared Circle. I've been David Alorka.
And I've been Jo Aujla.
You've been watching The Squared Circle, and we'll see you again next time.
Peace out, guys.